Anybody? No sign-ups? Okay. I want to welcome everybody to the April 8th, 2026 Common Council meeting. We're beginning with public participation. I apologize for not having my Golden Hurricanes hat on tonight, but I'll put it on later. This is an opportunity for the public to speak for 3 minutes. I ask that you, it's now 7:02. We ask that you state your name and address for the record. And again, you have 3 minutes. And I don't have anybody signed up. Does anybody wish to speak to the council? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing today? My name is Benjamin Irvin. I'm a citizen in New Britain, Connecticut.
Your address, Mr. Irvin?
The issue I'm having today is I was trying to get in my dead end of my street, I was trying to get a sign put up, no parking, because I've been having issues with my neighbors for almost about a year now. You know, I called the police department and they told me to come here because I don't want to issue nothing, you know. It's like I come home from work, I work third shift, and I gotta deal with them parking in front of my yard. You know, I have pictures that I took on my Vivid camera that I could present. It's just been an issue, ongoing issue for me.
All right. Well, we can take that information after the hearing, and if you'll hang on, we'll get that information.
Okay, appreciate it.
And just one more time, your address, where you want that sign?
It's 104 Upton Street.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak to the council? Anybody else? Third time. Anybody else? Hearing none. Anybody calling in from no remote callers? This concludes public participation for the regular meeting of April 8th. And I'm sure nobody has any comments on what they've heard here at public participation. Alderwoman Scott.
I just want to really quick thank Benjamin for coming and encourage other people to come and share their concerns so that we can try to address them. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing none, this concludes public participation and responses. The regular meeting will begin shortly. 7:05 p.m. Yeah.
Women, yes. Yep. So who was the one? Oh, she got hers. Yes. Yes. Is it signed or, yeah, but this, yes. Yes, okay, thank you. So, so you got the officer.
Yes.
So if you put one in the front, yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's again, this discussion.
That's a expense.
All right, yep, exactly.
You have to need to know who the other person is, 'cause it's like your brain.
Was it
just put them out, I didn't even look, I think I have 3. Well, I've got more. Jeez, this is, but I don't know what I put out. I think I put 3 women, 2 men out there.
So there's one woman.
Yeah, Donnie got hers. So someone else took one that I don't know who took. I'm sorry for that. I
Did,
know Donnie.
did anyone else take a badge? Badge? You did? Anyone took a badge? No one did.
I don't have.
All right, I'm gonna have to pat y'all down. Somebody took a badge. I know, I doubt he did.
I took a badge.
No, you could have 5 out there.
Do you have one? No. Okay, yes, take one.
Yeah, but make sure it doesn't say woman.
We don't have.
Did you get one?
I just read.
Okay, it
So
was.
here you go. Okay, cool. So then we're covered.
Why are you here?
You got a man one too?
I did.
Okay.
Did you look at it?
I did.
Okay. Did you get one, Vargas?
I never looked to see if it said woman or man.
They do.
Did you take one?
Yeah, she got one the first time.
Oh, you got.
Yes.
It said, if it said woman, then I know.
She's special.
Huh?
She's special.
But I never signed it because of not.
I am. Thank you, because I'm ready to roll
And I
out
know
tonight.
that, listen, I'm so sorry. And I know,
Because you be the last one leaving.
yeah,
At least I know where I can find you.
I'm so sorry. I learned my lesson, but I won't do it.
No, you're fine.
No, listen, I know what it's to get home. Yo lo vi en forma y me voy a ver de la escuela. Bueno, no sabemos qué seguir pensando. What I want is that, I think that woman has said that she.
See you again.
Skills. Them kids got some skills.
Yes.
They is very talented. I'm telling you, to go live, come on.
Yes.
And don't miss a beat.
Yes. They were funny.
Yeah, it
They
was.
sounded great.
Very- oh my
Everything was
God.
just sound cute. Yeah, no, that was better. Last year was good.
Yeah.
Last year was funny. Last year's was funny, but this one was like pure talent.
Yeah.
Or that gavel hit. The lighting, just
It was right up there. I don't know if you was there to see it. In the Heights. The In the Heights was great though. Oh yeah, they did a good job with In the Heights too.
I'm upset I missed that.
Yeah, In the Heights there. It was up there. But yeah, Frozen. Yeah. I was like, all
Enjoy
right.
yourself.
Okay. Okay. I call to order the April 8, 2026 regular meeting of the Common Council. The time is now 7:13 p.m. Let's see if I can find a pen here. Yeah. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Your Honor. Alderman McNamara,
Here.
Alderwoman Scott. Here. Alderman Simpson,
Present.
Alderman Smedley, Alderman Malinowski, Alderman Gibson, Alderwoman Delarnia, Alderman Santiago, Alderwoman Barbosa, Alderwoman Vargas, Alderwoman Maldonado, Alderman Centeno, Alderwoman Ortiz Luna, Alderman Borrero. 12 present, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
We come before you with grateful hearts in a season of spring, a time of renewal, growth, and fresh beginnings. As the earth awakens with life, with new life, may we too be renewed in our purpose, our service, and our commitment to one another. May your blessing rest upon this city council assembled here to lead with humility, with the strength to choose what is right, and the compassion to uplift and serve all people, especially those whose voices are too often overlooked. Let their decisions be shaped not by self-interest, but by a steadfast commitment to the well-being of the entire community they are called to serve. In this season of planting, remind us that the seeds we sow today, through our words, our policies, and our actions, will shape the future of our city. Let those seeds be rooted in fairness, nurtured with collaboration, and brought to fruition through unity. Help us to embrace the spirit of new beginnings. And where there's been division, bring harmony. Where there has been uncertainty, bring clarity. And where there has been hardship, bring hope. Amen.
Thank you. So before we move on, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Alderman Alden Russell, who passed away recently. Alderman Russell served the council, I believe, for 2 terms, was a servant of our city, and he will be missed. So if we can just stand and do a moment of silence for Alderman Russell. Thank you. And I now want to recognize Alderman Malinowski for a couple of words.
Thank you, Your Honor. A few weeks ago, we lost Alden Russell. He was a tireless advocate for the city of New Britain. He served on the Commission for Persons with Disabilities. He was elected to the Board of Assessment Appeals, and served two terms in this very chamber. Alden had an enormous heart, and he truly cared for this city. And he was a good friend, and I just want to reach out with my sympathies to his wife Julie, his son Xander, and his daughter Courtney. The city of New Britain has lost a great advocate, and we're going to miss him. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman. And I believe we're all set here. Okay. I am incredibly proud to have the New Britain High School Hurricanes cheerleading team join us today. Earlier this year, they were crowned the Central Connecticut Conference champions. Yeah. As well as the 2026 CAS CIAC Co-Ed Cheerleading State Champions. That's another. So these titles are a testament to their hard work, their discipline, and commitment to the excellence. This is a huge accomplishment for our city, and it reflects the leadership of the coach, Jahira, and I hope I don't kill your name, sorry, Jahira Pagan, and the support of the athletic director, Lisa Kowecki Grega. Did I say that right? Okay. Congratulations also to all the conference athletes, Amani Blair, Delvin Sanchez, Jeremiah Hairston, Mia Bella Zayas, and Selena Spinoza. Congratulations again to the entire team for representing New Britain with such pride at every level of the competition. So I would love for them to come up to the front here. I have a proclamation. Come on, to the front. And I'll meet you out there.
Yeah, do the whole. Was my niece too. She went to Florida for her stay.
And to all the parents, I know you're proud. It's great. Thank you so much. Okay, now we continue with our business. Alderman Santiago, any minutes?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I make a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of February 25, of 2026 and March 25 of 2026.
Second by Alderwoman Luna. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Alderman Santiago, are there any amendments?
No, Your Honor, no amendments.
Thank you, Alderman. Madam Clerk, for petitions, any petitions?
There are no petitions this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Alderman Santiago for the consent agenda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept the consent of A and B.
Second by Alderman Simpson. Okay. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes, Your Honor. Alderman McNamara?
Yes.
Alderwoman Scott? Yes. Alderman Simpson?
Yes.
Alderman Smedley? Alderman Malinowski? Yes. Alderman Gibson? Yes. Alderwoman Delernia? Yes. Alderman Santiago?
Yes.
Alderwoman Barbosa? Yes. Alderwoman Vargas? Yes. Alderman Centeno?
Yes.
Alderwoman Ortiz Luna?
Yes.
Alderman Barrero?
Yes.
12 yeses, Your Honor.
Motion carries. Alderwoman Vargas for item number 1.
I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 1.
Second by Alderman Santiago.
Thank you. To His Honor and the Mayor and the Common Council, this resolution is regarding cooperative purchasing of services for milling and paving of various streets. Whereas in accordance with the City Code of Ordinances, purchase orders were requested by the Public Works Department for the following under the State of Connecticut's Cooperative Purchasing Plan. And whereas the Public Works Department has requested the purchase of services for milling and paving of various streets, utilizing the State of Connecticut's Cooperative Purchasing Plan Contract 22 PSX 0197 for the milling of bituminous concrete on various city streets, and contract number 24 PSX 0207 for bituminous concrete materials and the installation of them, Garrity Asphalt Reclaiming Incorporated and Tilcon, Connecticut, have provided these services to the city in the past under the State of Connecticut's Cooperative Purchasing Plans. Whereas $2 million is budgeted for the milling and paving portion of the 2026 pavement rehabilitation program.
Your Honor, point of order. Is this resolution 1 or 2?
This is 1.
Is it 1? Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yes, 1.
Therefore, be it resolved that the purchasing agent is hereby authorized to issue a purchase order to Tilcon, Connecticut of New Britain in the amount of $1,775,000 for the purchase of bituminous concrete materials and installation of them onto various city streets. And that the purchasing agent is hereby also authorized to issue a purchase order to Garrity Asphalt Reclaiming Incorporated of Bloomfield in the amount of $225,000 for the milling of bituminous concrete of various city streets utilizing the State of Connecticut's Cooperative Purchasing Plan. And I urge adoption.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Alderwoman Delernia.
I have some questions for Mark. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. So, which streets are included? Do we have a list for this coming year?
We do have a list.
Okay.
Okay, it's, let's say, there's 3 areas that are being focused on. One is by McKinley Governor. One is down kind of in the Mason Drive area. And then there's some other ones in more the Stanley, lower Stanley portions, a portion of South Street. Some of the areas, they're largely areas where we've been doing utility work, either sewer work or gas main replacement. What happens is we coordinate with the gas company, actually primarily, and we give them an opportunity to replace gas mains in advance when we're looking at paving a street. That's what most of this year's program is. It's areas where they completed gas main replacements. They always take a little longer than you want, but That's pretty much what happened, this
And
year's
what-
program.
What about the streets with all the potholes and where we're having a lot of trouble, damage?
I mean, those are typically, if we're getting, let's say, typically streets that are getting close to paving that we're coordinating with them are starting to get potholes, okay? And so a lot of those streets or the potholing, a lot of times is also related, people think it's potholes, but it's related to their gas main replacement work. So they're all streets that are in like condition that's ready to be repaved.
Okay. So how do you address streets that may have damage other than related to what you're talking
I
about?
mean, we do temporary, like high-level temporary repairs to roads that aren't on the program. It is an expensive program this year with the fuel costs up. We did have to take a couple streets off because the fuel prices is causing asphalt prices to go higher. Tilcon gave us a heads up that our prices are going to be much higher this year because there's a fuel surcharge that's included on their bid. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question that our residents ask a lot,
Yeah.
you know. We always get the complaints about the potholes.
Yeah, and
But I was,
John Downey is going to be repaved within the next couple months by that project. So that'll be,
that's good to hear.
yeah, thank God for everyone involved.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about the cost, how it's compared to previous years. I would imagine there'd be some price increasing.
We're doing about 5 miles of paving this year. With the same amount of money, we've done 7 miles of paving.
Do we get a warranty for the work that's done? Is there some kind of warranty involved? I mean, when they pave a street, what's the life expectation?
Yeah, we expect, it depends on the road, because a high traffic road isn't going to last as long. So on a road like that, we expect to get about 12, 13 years.
Okay.
For a residential street, we could get up to, with not a lot of traffic, we can get up to 20 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
it varies. We do rate all the streets every couple of years. So we have a rating of 1 to 10. It's, yeah, and I think overall, the streets, if you look at, we have a heat map that we have condition of every road in the city. And overall, there's not that many neighborhoods or areas that are really in bad condition, but there's always going to be some roads. We have 170 miles of road. We're doing 5 miles of road this year. You do the math, you know, and you're trying to do them every 12 to 20 years. It's we're keeping up, but you know, you can always do more.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mark? Oh, Alderwoman Barbosa.
These streets that are being paved, are these main roads? Are these main streets that are frequented?
I mean, some are. We're doing a portion of Stanley Street. We're doing a portion of South Street.
When was the last time these streets were paved?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I mean, if anything that we're touching, we haven't touched in at least 12 years. We started doing, I think South Street goes back probably, we really started doing pavement management, like at a higher level in about 2008. So some of those are probably going back till 2010, 2012. Some of the more arterials.
Do you have some streets that have just never been paved? Well, repaved, not paved, but repaved?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but potentially if they're not in bad condition.
No, and the reason I ask is the same as Alderwoman Delernia was saying. When we were door knocking on the east side, we had residents that were telling us that they've lived there for over 30 years and their streets have never been paved. So that was my question.
Yeah.
As to why are roads being repaved over and over and some just aren't being touched at all?
We're not doing that. That is an inaccurate statement. We are not paving the same roads at we stretch the money as far as we can, and it's based on condition and based on, a lot of times it's based on coordination with utility companies and because we don't want utility companies going in and tearing up a road that we have repaved recently where we do need to do work on it.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Ortiz for item number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 2.
Seconded by Alderman Santiago.
And this resolution is regarding the 2026 pavement rehabilitation program, and it's to authorize Public Works to issue a purchase order to Safety Markings, Inc. of Bridgeport, Connecticut, in the amount of $75,000 for installation of pavement markings on various city streets, utilizing the state of Connecticut's cooperative purchasing plan, and I urge adoption.
Any discussion? Alderwoman Delernia?
Hi, Mark. What exactly is traffic signal detection equipment?
Okay. So along with the paving, you have to, there's traffic signal equipment, older loops, loop detectors that are in the pavement that can be impacted. So they call when a vehicle's at a traffic signal. If we don't have, some of our newer signals, we have audible, we have camera loop detectors, but some of the older ones have loop detectors that detect a car just in front of a signal, so it gives you the call for a green. Okay, so that's part of this. A lot of this resolution is also just for striping and other traffic work that we do along when we repave a road.
So it's done in coordination with the repaving?
When we repave a road, a lot of times we replace traffic signs. We try and update all the traffic signs, like get rid of sign clutter, things like that. We restripe. Sometimes we stripe a little bit differently, make travel lanes narrower to try and calm traffic, do a lot of different things along with the repaving of a road. But yeah.
All right, terrific. So it's all done together, you're not going back and forth piecemeal?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Anybody else? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Centeno for item number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 3.
Second by Alderwoman Luna.
This resolution is in reference to purchasing of rollout trash containers for the Public Works Department. Whereas the Public Works Department is responsible for the management and maintenance of approximately 45,000 trash and recycling containers used by residents for the weekly and biweekly collection of trash and recycling. Each month, over 30 trash containers on average need to be replaced due to obviously broken lids, broken wheels, and other issues. Funding is available for the purchase of the Public Works, from the Public Works account, operating materials and supplies. Therefore, be resolved that the purchasing agent is hereby authorized to issue a purchase order of $31,311.40 to Auto Environmental Systems LLC in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the purchase of 504 rollout trash and recycling containers. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Alderwoman Delernia. Mark, you may want to stay up here.
Yeah.
I didn't go all the way back to my seat that time. I played it safe.
So let's talk trash bins. What do they cost our residents, and how often can they be replaced? What if they're damaged? Is there a limit to how many you could have?
Oh, yes. I mean, up to, let's say, for a single-family house, you just obviously get one. For multifamily houses, you can get up to 6 for a 6-family house. As far as they cost $75 for a resident to replace. We don't make any money. I mean, I think maybe it's like just slightly more than we pay for them. Let's see. The big thing with the trash containers is the initial time when we went to an automated collection, that was in 2008. And so the trash containers we bought are obviously coming up, they're getting quite old. They actually exceeded the 18-year warranty that they had. So, and those containers probably didn't hold up as good as they were a Toter brand. They didn't hold up as good as the auto containers that we use for the recycled containers and what we use now to replace trash containers. So, yeah, a lot of residents over the years have had to purchase a new container to replace their old container.
So there's no limit if a trash bin is damaged, there's no limit to how often you could call to replace it, but you have to pay $75 per trash bin. And who do you call exactly to have that
Just call,
replaced?
our office upstairs in Public Works.
Public Works.
Yeah. I mean, people don't typically replace them very often because of the cost.
What about the lid?
We do like wheel repairs. We do just lid repairs. So we do those kind of things. You don't have to replace an entire lid if there's just a small amount of damage that's repairable. But if it gets to the point where it's just like they're cracked, they're not structurally sound anymore, then people have to replace them.
That's good to know. I think that's a question that.
The other thing
I've
is
heard.
we're also not supporting, we're really supporting more of the auto containers for repairs at this point in time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Centeno.
Yes, Mark, I remember, I still have the original one, the first one and I remember I was on the council back then, and I believe there was no charge for them, correct?
When we initially
Yeah, initially, right?
rolled them out, we were not charging, and we were getting seriously taking advantage.
But if you wanted a second one, you had to. Is that right?
And we actually did a survey of other communities to find out what they were doing. Everybody else was charging for a replacement.
Okay. What about residents that move into the city? Do they still,
They have to typically
have to pay
purchase
for
a
it?
if they don't have a container, they have to purchase a container.
they have to purchase one?
We try to be consistent on that, so it's not black or
Yeah.
it's
Maybe
black and white.
I'm gonna suggest maybe, anybody moving into the city, maybe, the first one should be free, but maybe that's something we could look into. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that kind of a sales pitch? Okay. Alderwoman Scott.
Yeah, I agree. I think if someone's buying a home, they should probably get one with the house somehow. But I have a question. If I want to get an extra can, how does that work?
There is a rental program. You could rent an additional one every year, but it's an annual cost. I think it's
How much is it a year?
I think it's $65. I don't remember off
Okay.
the top of my head, but I think it's it's fairly pricey, I think, to do. It depends, but you do have that option.
So if someone wants an extra can for their house, they would just call
Yep, and we
Public
could set
Works
up a rental.
Department? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just kind of a technical question on this. The top price, $16,131. There's a comma where I believe there should be a decimal in the table. So I just want to clarify if that's $16,131.79, or is it somehow 16 million and change with the missing digit?
No, it shouldn't be a comma, it should be a period.
It should be a period.
Or decimal point.
That's all I had. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you for noting that. Because I'm sure you would vote down $16 million in trash cans. Any other discussion? Alderman Santiago.
Just for a clarification, so as Alderman Centeno requested about a new owner comes in and technically the property should have a garbage can and a recycling, and as I'm correct, there's a serial number on each garbage can that reflects each property that they're given to. Am I right?
There is. When we issue a container, we keep track of the serial number issued.
And so that even when you do a replacement, you basically just replace the garbage can, trash can, and then the serial number is actually just reflects the same.
Updated.
Correct. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Santiago for item number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept Resolution 4.
Second by Alderwoman Luna Ortiz.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is authorized to enter into a 3-year agreement with Caldwell MDR. I'm gonna read it. This one's pretty important, so I think we should read this just to make sure it's in the record. To his honor, the mayor and the common council of the city of New Britain, to undersign, beg leave to recommend the adoption of the following. Whereas the city of New Britain looks to replace our existing cybersecurity system with Caldwell MDR, Management, Detection, and Response, for both IT divisions within the Department of Support Services. And whereas Caldwell MDR is a full managed detection and response service that provides continuous monitoring, threat detections, and responses across our endpoints, identifies and cloud applications. It gives us 24/7 visibility into potential threats and supports to investigate and contain issues before they escalate, while also reduces the operational burden on our internal team. And whereas this service ties directly into our cyber insurance ecosystem, and these improvements is our security posture through MDR, can positively impact our overall risk profile over time. And whereas Caldwell includes a $25,000 breach response fund endorsement with this service. This provides immediate financial support during a security incident, which other vendors don't offer, adding an extra layer of protection. I had it said right, tongue-tied already. Operationally and financially, and whereas this is the only solution that aligns security improvement with our insurance strategy and is built with the city of New Britain's best interests in mind. It strengthens our defenses, improves visibility across our environment, and helps reduce both risk and potential financial impact moving forward. And whereas Caldwell has provided a proposal for 3 years of license subscription for our entire IT infrastructure for $132 yearly per endpoint for estimated yearly price of $66,000. Thank you. And whereas funding for this is available in the Support Services PSTC Division Maintenance Contracts Account Number 001213001-5434, and Support Services IT Division Maintenance Contracts Account Number 0011070006-5434. And now therefore be it resolved that the purchasing agent is hereby authorized to enter into agreement with Caldwell MDR for a 3-year subscription, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I could, through you, ask John Delgadillo. He's
Yes,
already walking.
John's walking up already.
He's ready to go.
Hello, Your Honor, Counsel.
What kind of, this is cybersecurity stuff? If you could just explain like a little bit more layman's terms.
So it's a different program, a different provider for cybersecurity. Caldwell provides a 24/7 platform, which is something we didn't have previously. It's really one of the top tiers of cybersecurity that the city could look into to purchase. So I felt that it was in the best interest of the city to move forward with them.
And there'll be like an extra layer monitoring all our systems?
That is correct. That is something that we, monitoring, alerting was always included in the past. This service is 24/7 actual personal monitoring of our system. So if they do see something that is that shouldn't be happening, they would fully alert us at any time.
And this $25,000 breach response fund, is that sort of like an insurance policy in case something like what happened happens again?
Correct. Yes, they're willing. They feel so strongly on their product that they're willing to say that if we are breached, that they will give us $25,000 for that breach.
All right, thank you for that.
No problem.
Also.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just in the resolved section, it names purchasing agent. Who is that here?
What was that? Well, who's the purchasing agent?
Yes, this is a, now therefore be resolved that the purchasing agent, but it's a proper noun. So I'm just wondering who purchasing agent is.
Jack Piper.
Who?
Jack Piper.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's all.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Vargas.
I know you mentioned the 25,000, is that per incident, or is just that one time, or?
That is per incident, that is correct.
And the,
It could be yearly, to speak on that, but again, they offer that and they feel confident that obviously they're not wanting to cough up $25,000 for that.
I know no one wants to give away that much money, so.
Exactly.
And then I just wanted to clarify the $132 yearly, and then, is that for each person in IT? Is that how we came up with the 66,000?
No, so endpoint is actually every device. So computer, servers, any sort of equipment that speaks to our network into the outside
So
world.
everyone who has, okay, so that's sorry.
Not personally, but the devices that you're on, yes. Every single computer device that communicates to the outside that could possibly be breached, that's the endpoint. So every endpoint is $132. Based on our knowledge, we know that we have about 500 endpoints. So that's why you get to the $66,000.
And if we purchase more computers or equipment?
That's kind of why I put it's $132 yearly per endpoint, where it's estimated yearly price of $66,000. 500 is actually a little overshot. As you said, we do constantly have more computers, more needs for stuff as well. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman DeLernia.
Okay, endpoint users at 132, so you overestimated 500 devices. If we were to go beyond that, does that increase the cost by more than 132?
No, 132 per endpoint, period.
Okay. What specific system, it says you're replacing, so what specific system are we replacing? And is it due to failure from the cyber attack?
It's replacing our previous system, which is Silence. It's another cybersecurity program. It didn't provide the services that this Cowbell MDR. It's a full-on platform that is a little bit more enhanced and at a larger cost. But again, I think it's the best thing for the city.
So the system we had, we're terminating.
Correct.
Is there a penalty?
Nope. It actually was ending this month, so it's
Okay.
perfect timing.
That's good to hear. And we committed to 3 years. Why did we go with 3 years? Are you confident that they're going to provide what we need? Do they give us guarantees?
Well,
What if they don't live up to what they're?
They're very well reputable. I spoke to other municipalities and other government agencies that utilize them, so I feel confident in their services, especially with the softwares they provide. The 3 years actually was something I asked for because I like to have some price stability here with our funding and our budgets. They actually, they obviously typically increase every year. So for them to be able to lock in a 3-year price is very advantageous, and I thought it was something that we should look into and obviously do. I'd love to do a 5-10 year, but like you said, I think you do need to look at other options after a few years. But I feel confident in the next 3 years that this will be the best service for the city.
Now, do they act on our behalf, or?
They can,
if
yes.
there's do they act on, or do they contact us?
They can act on our behalf, correct.
Okay.
If they will contact us immediately, they have obviously multiple points of contact to reach out to, but if they see something that they need to act upon immediately, they will act upon them.
Okay. I guess going back to the issues we had with the cybersecurity, so this is kind of a reactive purchase. Was it budgeted for?
Yes, I could say, like I said, this purchase is a little bit more expensive than the previous one, but I could say that my budget can take on both of these costs.
It's okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman Barbosa.
It's better to be safe than sorry, and sometimes you got to pay a little more to be safe. When was the last time the system was updated, and how old was the last system?
Well, there's constant updates being done on cybersecurity. That's a never-ending updating thing that's happened always.
But we're getting a new contract with 3 years.
Oh, the previous software,
Yes.
you mean? It was brought in 2023.
I'm sorry?
2023.
Oh.
That's it, Alderman? That's it. Alderwoman Luna Ortiz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think the fact that we're only entering into a contract for 3 years is actually smart. We don't want to enter into a contract for 10 years or even 5 years, right? What if they suck, right? Or, so we don't have to be held to the contract. Just one question. So following the cyber attack, what immediate steps did the city take to secure system and to strengthen our cyber security?
We acted immediately as soon as we were made aware of the situation. The mayor's immediate response to us was to protect city resident as well as keep city operations ongoing. Public safety, 911 was never affected by this. That was a key thing to make sure. And then we just had to make sure that city operations remained operational as much as we could, which I thought that, most city operations will remain operational. And then we were able to get it corrected in time with the experts and everybody else that were able to assist us to get us there.
Thank you. So just for the record, everyone's personal information is still secured, nothing.
There was no outspread data breach for residents. No, there's no outspread data breach for residents. There are possibly some employee data that was released, city employees, but we are still actively looking into that, and they will be notified directly from us.
So this is still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, but we can feel confidently say that no city resident data outreach was done.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Will this new contract help resolve our existing issues? As in, if we get a new service provider, are we going to have to catch them up on the issues we have currently?
Catch them up, sorry.
As in, we have a problem, our cyber insurance kicked in, and then we're switching providers. Is that going to be a clean transition? Forgive my ignorance here.
So this is actually the existing company that's working with us now to correct the cybersecurity issue that we're currently undergoing.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So we are continuing on with them. So we have their experience with them over the last few months. We feel very confident in their services going forward. So yes, they're fully aware of everything going on, and they're currently working on everything any endpoint that's currently working on the city, they're already there under the insurance policy. But obviously, once we're awarded this, we can start the 3-year process from the point of approval from this.
Thank you. Alderman Barrero.
Thank you, Your Honor. So based on everything that's happened with the cyber attack recently, with this new system, how much better and stronger would our city be going on from this point forward?
A lot stronger, very strong. I feel very confident in this. The actors, again, as soon as we saw something happen, we acted immediately, and that was very early in the morning. So having somebody 24/7 physically monitoring any sort of things that were happening to this, and then being able to act on it immediately versus us getting alerts and getting ourselves in here to correct it it's night and day in the policies that we can provide as far as moving forward and making sure this never happens again in the city.
Alderwoman Vargas.
What are the key investments or changes the city's prioritizing now to ensure that we're better protected?
Well, us or any city, you say? Us, okay. Well, yeah, this is one of them. Updating equipment, outdated equipment, security patch updates, things like that, all come together as part of this. Outdated equipment is definitely something that we've looked into and physically addressing. There was a resolution that came across the council previously that was addressing a lot of those points of failures. But there's data out there where 35 to 55% of every city and every local government and city in this United States has been ransomware attacked since 2024. So we're not immune to this. It's something that's gonna sadly happens to the small people, that mom and pop shop. Sadly, to even Yale got affected by this, right? So there's really no stopping us, but you do the best you can to make sure that it doesn't happen. We are now actively doing all those things to make sure that doesn't happen per the mayor's direction.
Can you walk us through a little bit through some of those specific changes?
Just a
little
point
bit
of
more
order,
clear?
Mr. Mayor. I just think we have to focus on the actual resolution that's in front of us, and that's for a contract for the cybersecurity.
Any other? Alderwoman Delarnia?
So this was considered an emergency purchase as opposed to going out to bid?
This
And
is
why would we
considered
choose this company?
Sole source. I would consider this sole source because there's no other cybersecurity company that provides the ecosystem and the services that they provide all together in one, as well as providing the $25,000 reimbursement to the city.
Where do they operate out of?
Cobell operates out of California, Pleasantown.
So is there like a call center, or how do they notify us? Is it coming from California? Where is that coming from?
What is that?
How do?
They have services throughout the entire United States. The team we worked with were very local to the New England area.
They're local.
They were local to the New England area, correct. Like, that's their main office in California, but they have staff throughout the
So
entire
when you say local, where's local? Is local New Britain? Is local Hartford? Is it New Jersey?
To be honest with you, where their local branch office, I don't really know, but I know that they have people that were within hours.
Isn't
away.
that something we should know?
So a lot of the things with IT could be done remotely, specifically. You don't really need to be on site for
Thank
IT
you.
services.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Okay. You good? Okay, so. Alderman Santiago.
Again, this is just pretty much we're being proactive, correct? We're going from, I know our systems that we had prior only were monitoring, and only thing they would do is alert us. This one actually would act on a threat. So if there was any issues, they would actually stop and then warn us, but at the same time, cut any sources or any kind of connections to any threats or anything, and basically just stop from wherever they cause, right?
That's correct. It's called quarantine. They'd quarantine the intrusion to limit it to the exposure that it was at, which
And which
shouldn't
we
be-
didn't have
which
prior to
shouldn't be
this.
that far. No, correct. That is correct.
So, all right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Alderman. Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Borrell for item number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt resolution number 5.
Second by Alderman Santiago.
This is for building repairs and replacement of City Hall's data center HVAC replacements. Whereas the following bid, 4199 on-call building repairs replacement project was approved by the Common Council at its regular meeting of April 23rd, 2025. And whereas the fourth floor server room HVAC system is well past its life expectancy, failing and requires replacement. In addition, the design of the system for the space does not have the capacity to provide sufficient cooling for space, which would require a new installation of 2 mini split units to be able to sufficiently address the space temperature needs, and whereas temperature of Plainville, Connecticut provided the lowest price of HVAC contractors and are on call list at the price of $26,203, and whereas funding is available for the purchase within LOCIP facilities, an energy account for the city data center, account number 2131600-125-52103, and therefore may it be resolved that the purchasing agent be and is hereby authorized to issue a purchase order of $26,203 to Perfect Temp of Plainville, Connecticut for the installation of the new HVAC system for the City Hall's 4th floor data center, and I urge this adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman McNamara for item number 6.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt number 6.
Second by Alderwoman Luna.
This is an authorization to spend $12,958.93 to provide the Finance Department with a reporting tool for federal and state, to meet federal and state requirements. The city is under contract and uses the Central Square Company for other financial or public administration tools. I'm sure Mr. Delgadillo is dying to tell us more, but it is required to keep up to date in terms of how we report out federal and state dollars, I assume. This is for a 1-year license, and I would urge adoption.
Any discussion?
Could I just, through you, Your Honor?
Sure.
Ask John Delgadillo.
John, can you come up?
Thank you, John. The Finance Department utilizes other Central Square products?
That is correct. It's part of the Central Square platform. It's just a separate module. It's to run their Cognos, so that runs reporting for them, again, specifically for the state and federal reporting requirements.
Yeah. Do you know if the police utilizes any of their tools? I know they have public safety too.
Everybody in the city uses Central Square for finance.
Central Square, right.
Yes.
And for the record, their corporate headquarters are in Florida. They're not in Connecticut, but they seem to be a national outfit with regional offices that we've done business with before.
Yes, the city's been under Central Square, SunGuard. It's the same provider for many, many years. I think even before I've worked here, so.
Thanks, appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, Alderman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Simpson for item number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 7.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
Thank you. This resolution is basically re-upping on our subscription to Vision Government Solutions for the expense of $16,130. This helps us keep track of the almost 17,000 properties across the city. It provides vital functions like keeping track of our grand list, keeping track of our property records, land records, things like that. And I have to say, out of all of the city services, this is one that I personally use a lot. It provides a great education tool for people, provides a transparency level that we would otherwise have to go to the city clerk's office and use a lot of staff and resources to produce. This allows us to just go online and click on a map, and we can see things like the sewer lines, the sidewalks, the street layout, various different tools. And so with this, I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderman Malinowski for item number 8.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item 8.
Second by Alderman Gibson.
And this is to authorize the mayor to enter into to negotiate and execute a purchase and sale agreement with RMS HHI LLC for the property at 125 Columbus Boulevard, and also an additional parcel A, which is 0.44 acres of potential covered parking area adjacent to Route 71. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Alderwoman Delernia.
So okay, who would I address this to? Thank you.
Corporate Counsel.
So does this mean the original agreement is void? Does it have to be renegotiated, and is it renegotiated at the same cost?
The original agreement is still pending because we discovered that this 0.44 acres was not included in the original resolution. So we wanted to make sure that we got authorization for that, and then the purchase and sale agreement will be finalized. But the original RFP was for the 0.85 acres plus this parking area of 0.44, but it was just omitted in the resolution that was submitted to council and approved by council. So we just wanted to make sure we got this approval, and we're gonna finalize, once we get this approval, we'll finalize the purchase and sale agreement.
Okay, but the cost isn't gonna change?
No, because the cost included that parking, because it was part of the RFP, so their cost included that parking lot area.
Okay, I was concerned because it does say authorized to negotiate and execute.
Yeah, and it's already been, it's just a matter of including that piece in the negotiation.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman Scott.
I'm just wondering, do we know what they'll be doing with the property?
This is the project that came last year. I don't know if you remember, they're doing low to moderate income housing.
Okay, so.
So they did a whole
adding more.
presentation.
Okay.
That's still the same. It's just this parking piece where we were negotiating the purchase and sale agreement, and the attorney said, well, what about the parking? And then I realized it wasn't in the resolution.
Okay, so they will get more parking spaces there.
They require this parking, and then they have to get 7 additional spots, which they'll be leasing, requesting permission to lease from the city.
Okay. I was
Okay.
just looking into that because I know there's a lot of complaints about the parking in that area.
Yes.
So this will be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any other discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item number 9, Alderwoman Ortiz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 9.
Second by Alderman Barrero.
This resolution is for the mayor of New Britain to fill out any and all necessary documentation for the application and execution of this grant under the Connecticut Judicial Branch Court Support Service Division Youth Violence Prevention Initiative Youth Service Prevention Grant Program in the sum of $25,000. The funds are to be used by the New Britain PAL program. And looks like the way they are going to use the funds is $15,400 is going towards equipment and supplies, and the remaining balance of $9,600 is to be used for participant travel and training, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Let's see. Alderman Delernia for item number 10.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to accept and adopt item number 10.
Second by Alderman Malinowski.
This is a budget amendment for the police department. The Connecticut DOT Highway Safety is making available federal highway funds for overtime for our police department. The purpose is to reduce distracted driving, which is has a major effect on fatalities and serious injuries in our city and in Connecticut. So in accordance with federal requirements, I guess they are reimbursing us at a cost of $39,955. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Vargas for item number 11.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 11.
Second by Alderman Simpson.
Thank you. This is a very important resolution for me. It's recognizing April as Autism Acceptance Month in the city of New Britain. It says, honor in the mayor and the common council, whereas autism spectrum disorder is a developmental condition that affects communication, behavior, and social interaction, and impacts individuals and families across all communities. Whereas increasing public awareness, understanding, and acceptance of autism is essential to promoting inclusion, dignity, and respect for individuals on the autism spectrum. And whereas individuals with autism bring unique talents, perspectives, and contributions that enrich our schools, workplaces, and community life. And whereas families, caregivers, educators, and service providers in the city of New Britain play a vital role in supporting individuals with autism and advocating for access to services, education, and opportunities. And whereas the city of New Britain is committed to fostering an inclusive community that supports individuals of all abilities and promotes equal opportunity and accessibility, and April is recognized nationally as Autism Acceptance Month, a time to promote awareness, celebrate neurodiversity, and encourage acceptance and inclusion of individuals with autism. Now be it resolved that the city of New Britain hereby recognizes the month of April 2026 as Autism Acceptance Month in the city of New Britain. And yeah, this resolution was really special to me. Some know, some don't know, but I have a 24-year-old who's on the spectrum. I can share with you that when she was in school, services were wonderful, services are great, kids are great when they're small, and you know, when she was diagnosed 20 years ago, it was 1 in 110 kids that were diagnosed, and 20 years later, we're up to 1 in 36. I can tell you as a mom of an autistic and adult child, she's still my child, you know, the community is not catching up. Employers are not catching up. And these kids are going to become adults. They are adults now. And there's no opportunities for them. They're very limited. And they're bright, creative, wonderful, intelligent human beings. And they should be treated as such. So I'm happy that we are putting our foot forward to really recognize that everyone deserves an opportunity, and diversity is beautiful, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. I concur. Any other discussion? Alderman Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just really quickly, I got to double down on what Alderwoman Vargas just said, right? Employment opportunities are fewer and scarcer for folks with autism compared to neurotypical individuals, right? And I just want to highlight that things that may seem easy do not in any way indicate that they are accessible, right? It was today that I taught somebody how to do something on Google Sheets, and although it's an easy task, if it's not broken down in a way that's accessible, the ease never gets reached, right? And so making information, making systems and practices accessible, that's the first key to addressing easy or hard tasks. And when it's a hard task, we all need help, right? So if something seems easy and you see something that isn't getting done by somebody, make it accessible for them. I think this resolution helps highlight that. I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other? Alderwoman Delarnia.
Thank you, Jessica. That was great information that I wasn't aware of. And Nate, I agree with you. And, you know, oftentimes some of these kids or adults that are on the spectrum actually can do things easier than we can. You may have to explain things to me, and, you know, my friend may be able to pick up on it quicker. But if I may, I'd like to give a special shout out to a good friend of mine who I know is watching. He's an incredible man, 31 years old, great sense of humor, witty, always making me laugh when I'm in his presence. And I just like to say hi to Noah. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman Scott.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, recognizing autism is super important, and I was happy to sponsor this resolution to make sure it was here tonight. My understanding is that, and I agree with everything that everybody said, I think we all learn differently. And so we just have to appreciate the way we learn and work with people the way that they learn so that they can get things done. It's my understanding that the city of New Britain, which I think is really wonderful, I think last term, we talked about the police department. I don't know if there's anybody here tonight, I don't think there is, that can talk about it, but we do have a online registration. We have a registration for, it's a database where families and people who are who may have autism can register themselves so that the police department would know ahead of time that before they come out for a call. And so if you want to do that, I just wanted to encourage people to do it, to sign up if they, just so that they know, because we know with what's been happening recently in Hartford with the fatalities, we just want people to be protected and keep people safe. And I know that a database like that could save people's lives. So I asked a question last year if it was open to other diagnoses, and I hope that that is being done, or we can look into it to make sure that people have the opportunity to register their children or their family members or themselves, just so that the police can know and be aware before they go out to the call. So I just hope that we can keep people safe. So thank you and support
Thank you, Alderman
individuals.
Scott. Alderman Santiago.
Thank you, Your Honor. I too stand and support this resolution. As I previous years mentioned, my sister, she's autistic, wonderful woman. She's not a kid, she's definitely a woman. And her birthday is April 16th, so I just want to say happy birthday to her sooner than, usually I don't celebrate sooner than it, but since it's the only time before our next meeting. Happy birthday, Jesse, and love you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Barrero.
I just wanted to briefly say that when I saw this resolution, I was actually extremely happy. I got a smile on my face immediately. I do have a few nieces and nephews who I adore, who are also on the spectrum. So I just, want to say that I'm all about this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Anyone else? Okay. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion carries. Alderman Simpson for item number 12.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to make a motion to accept and adopt item number 12.
Second by Alderman Luz Luna.
Thank you. I'm not one to usually read full resolutions, but fair housing is extremely important. I can fully appreciate that people are discriminated against, especially against a resource that does help secure our other human and civil liberties and rights. So whereas April 11th, 2026 marks the 58th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which was a follow-up to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The 1968 Act expanded on previous acts and prohibited discrimination concerning the sale, the rental, and financing of housing based on race, religion, national origin, sex, and as amended, disability, and familial status. Title 8 of the Act is also known as the Fair Housing Act of 1968, and whereas the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development recently announced that it will enforce the Fair Housing Act on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity, extending protections to millions of LGBTQ+ people. Even broader than the FHA, though, New Britain's fair housing ordinances cover all protected classes under the FHA, as well as ancestry, age, marital status, veteran status, and lawful source of income. And whereas each year HUD communities and organizations across the country recognize Fair Housing Month by hosting an array of activities that enhance the community's awareness of their fair housing rights and highlight the national commitment to end housing discrimination. And whereas an open and inclusive community committed to equal housing opportunities create a diversity of people and cultures which greatly enhance every work and educational environment. And whereas the City of New Britain understands the importance of upholding these laws and realizes that these laws must be supplemented by an affirmative statement publicly endorsing the right of all people to full and equal housing opportunities in the neighborhood of their choice. And whereas Mayor Bobby Sanchez, the Common Council of the City of New Britain, the Community Services Division, and the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities and Fair Rent Commission are committed to upholding fair housing law, Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, by continuing to address discrimination in our community, to support programs that will educate the public about the right to equal housing opportunities, and to plan partnership efforts with other organizations to assure every New Britain resident of their right to fair housing. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Common Council and Mayor Sanchez endorses a fair housing policy, Section 2-198 of the city's ordinance, to ensure that no person shall discriminate with respect to housing in the city in violation of any federal, state, or local law. And I will say, as well as New Britain does on our fair housing legislation and enforcement, something that has come up in our federal government is a deep concern. And that is the essentially overhaul of housing providers, state, municipal, public, or private, to affirmatively further fair housing. And this means that our federal government essentially does not value the notion that despite these laws, discrimination still occurs. It means that the federal government has a lower bar than we do. And that's why it's important to fight for things like fair housing here. So I urge adoption of this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any discussion? Alderman Scott.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what Alderman just said, that this resolution is really important because of what we're going through in this country right now, and that it's really important that we in New Britain continue to recognize and support the fair housing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alderman Scott. No other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Scott for item number 13.
Thank you, Your Honor. I stand to adopt item number 13.
Second by Alderwoman Luna.
This is the Earth Day resolution, and Earth Day is on April 22nd. In 1970, this began where they celebrated the first Earth Day, and Earth Day is it looks at our potential dangers and it helps us to protect our environment. And the City of New Britain has taken great strides in improving awareness and promoting the solarization of numerous properties, including the New Britain Water Treatment Plant, Smalley Academy, and Smith Elementary School. And the Common Council acknowledges our collective responsibility for our environment and education and their stewardship and community sustainability. And our goals are to partner with among local businesses, environmental organizations, schools, and the artist community to help rise community. And we observe Earth Day as a springboard of exploring new avenues to sustainability. And we are committed to natural landscape and keeping our environment sensitive and safe. And so I just wanted to mention that we are having an Earth Day cleanup on April 25th on North and Oak Street. And that will be from 10 to 12. And this is with the NRZ. And we'll have light refreshments before and afterwards. And I encourage anyone to reach out if they would like to join us in cleaning and keeping our neighborhoods safe and clean. And I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Alderwoman Scott for item number 14.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rise to accept and adopt item number 14.
Second.
Second by Alderman Santiago.
And this is a sad one. This is for child abuse prevention, but we can look at it on a positive side too, as we're going to work on preventing it. Every child deserves to grow up in a safe, stable, nurturing environment, free from abuse and neglect. Child abuse and neglect is a serious public health issue and societal issue where the well-being of children and families may be long-term consequences for individuals and our communities. The City of New Britain is committed to supporting the physical, emotional, mental health and children by raising awareness and promoting education and encouraging community environment in child abuse prevention efforts. Research demonstrates that if we are positive relationships with our children and caregivers, supporting families in need, that we will prevent child abuse and neglect. So organizations such as DCF, along with advocacy groups, schools, community partners, work diligently to protect children, safety, and strengthen families and provide critical services. So I just wanted to mention that sadly here in New Britain, we saw the consequences that children could experience recently with the case on Clark Street with Mimi. And it's important for us to love and support our neighbors, our families, and check on people if we don't see them, or check on them if we have concerns, and report to proper authorities if we see that there are concerns, and teach our children safety plans, teach our children how to protect themselves in any situation that they may possibly be in, and make sure that they know safe adults in any situation that they can go to at all times to seek support. So here in the City of New Britain, we recognize the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I urge adoption.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. May I have a motion to adjourn? Second. Santiago, second by Alderwoman Luna. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned at 8:29.